Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Gunkin Suship Yugioh deck profile for post Power of the Elements. We got the new Gunkin Suship Shari Red in the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Booster set, and it's definitely been a while since I last updated the Suship monsters. For those of you who don't know, this is a deck that focuses on sushi boats that can be Xyz summoned together to actually make the Navy ships using the sushi pieces from the different monsters, bringing together the rice and the fish to create the sushi boats. It's a really interesting and weird deck for sure for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, but the Shari Red definitely does help for the added consistency, being able to count as the same normal monster in name, also in the deck, field, or graveyard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off, for the Suship monsters, I am running 3 of the Suship Shari. This one is your 2000 attack normal monster. It's needed for a good majority of the Xyz plays, even just having additional options for your different Xyz monsters when you use it as Xyz material for those cards. So it's a definite 3 of for sure. For the new Suship monster, we are running 3 of the new Gunkin Suship Shari Red. This card's name becomes Gunkin Suship Shari while it's on the field, deck, or graveyard, or with that card being on the hand as well. And you can only use each of the following effects of Gunkin Suship Shari Red once per turn. You can reveal one other Gunkin Suship Shari from your hand to special summon this card from your hand. Then you can apply this effect. This allows you then to special summon one Suship monster from your deck, except for Suship Shari, and then also negate its effects. Also, for that turn, you can have special summon from the extra deck one Xyz monster, and that monster special summon from it is also used as material and also added on to that play. So with the Shari Red being able to set up that special summon from the extra deck of one Xyz monster that mentions the special summon monster's name, which is Shari Red, it gives you the added option for the card to apply this effect of that additional Gunkin monster from your deck onto the field, except for Shari, because then it just counts as the same name as the card, giving you a target for one of the other ones you use. Some of the other ones include your Gunkin Suship Yugioh. With this card, if you control a Gunkin Suship Shari, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Yugioh once per turn this way. And during your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck. And if you do, either add to your hand or special summon one excavated Gunkin Suship Shari. Also shuffle the rest into your deck. You can only use this effect once per turn. But you have more targets now thanks to that, and for the fact that Shari Red also counts as Shari. Just remember, this is an activated effect, not the actual name of the card, meaning you can use both Shari and Shari Red in the same deck. You don't have to mix and match combos of all 3 together, which really does help for the overall consistency for this deck and many different plays that revolve around Gunkin Suship Shari. I also run the 3 Gunkin Suship Shirao. With this card, if you control a Gunkin Suship Shari or an Xyz monster that has it as material, you can special summon this card from your hand. During your main phase, you can special summon one Gunkin monster from your hand except for Shirao, and then you can take any number of Gunkin Suship Shari from your deck or graveyard and place them on the top of your deck in any order. So this is to help with Yugioh being able to then excavate the top cards of your deck and then give you that search needed for that Shari that you placed on the top of the deck to begin with. With the last of these Suship monsters that we have being the Gunkin Suship Uni, you can reveal one other Gunkin card in your hand to special summon this card from your hand, then apply the following effects based on the revealed card. If it's Shari, you can special summon the revealed monster. If it's another one, place the revealed card on the bottom of the deck. So you can then target one Gunkin monster you control and change its level to 4 or 5. Then you can add one Gunkin Suship Shari from your deck to your hand. The search power is good, but the level adjustment is also meant to help with the actual summoning of Gunkin Suship Uniclass Super Dreadnought, being a rank 5 monster and needing another level 5 monster, which can be any of the Suship monsters that you turn to level 5 to work with Gunkin Suship Uni. For the rest of the monsters for the main deck, I also just run 3 Ash Blossom and 2 Effect Veiler, just the hand-trapped lineup of choice. A lot of the Xyz plays revolve around just the Suship monster lineup, so you just need a few hand traps to help combat your opponent during their turn to stop any of their own plays. And that is it for the main deck monsters. We'll now move on to the spells. I run 3 Gunkan Sioux Shipyard Seaside Supper Spot. This is the field spell of the deck. For more of the actual setup, once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster, even during the damage step, you can place 1 Gunkan card from your deck on the top of your deck. And once per turn, if a face-up Gunkan monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck is sent to your graveyard to buy an opponent's card, activate this effect, and your opponent pays life points exactly equal to the monster's defense in the graveyard. Then you can apply this effect. To special summon 1 Gunkan Suship Shari from your hand, then special summon 1 Gunkan Xyz monster from your extra deck by using that monster you control as material. So this allows you to continue moving on out different boats onto the field using the Gunkan Suship Shari, and at the expense of your opponent having to go and attack into your own monsters with this play. I also run 3 Unexpected Die for the Gunkan Suship Shari special summon. Just great setup to easily get this monster on the field, and it's a needed monster for a good majority of the different Xyz monsters to resolve their own effects. I also run 2 Painful Decision for more searching. This can also just set one up in the graveyard for you to use, as well as the one you searched your hand with this card. I only run 2 of this card, though, compared to the Unexpected Die. It's a lot easier for the special summon search. This is just more of the deck thinning, and you still have to go for the normal monster. Since this card just becomes Gunkan Suship Shari, it's still not a normal monster while in the deck. And then for some of the one-ofs for the spells, I run 1 Terraforming for the Supper Spot Field Spell Search. The 1 Monster Reborn, easily usable with some of the other spells that can even set up the Shari in the graveyard. And also 2 Pot of Desires for more of the draw power. You can easily get the Sharis out of the deck with Painful Decision and Unexpected Die, and then just using the Pot of Desires to draw into more important cards. We run 3 of all the different Suship monsters, so just that draw power alone is very, very helpful for any of the plays we may try to do. And moving on now to the traps, I run 2 of the Gunkan Suship Daily Special. When you activate this card, you can also reveal 1 Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand, reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck. Your opponent chooses one of them for you to add to your hand. Also shuffle the rest in your deck. If you revealed a Gunkan Suship Shari in your hand at the activation, you could choose the card to add to your hand instead of your opponent. And if this card's in the graveyard, except during the turn it was sent there, you can banish it to target 3 Gunkan monsters in your graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck to draw a card. So the reveal also helps, since Shari Red counts as Shari in your hand as well for the reveal, being able to choose the card you want with this one. But the graveyard card effect is also very useful for the recycle power, because you will go through your ships very quickly, and even if you do banish some, you can at least have that recycle power with the other ones back into the deck to get a draw off of this trap. I also run 2 Phantom Knights of Shade Brigadine for the additional level 4 summon. If you don't have any traps in your graveyard, just being able to activate on the turn you set it gives you 2 monsters along with Shari to overlay together into your needed Xyz monster. And then for the rest of the traps, I run 1 Metaverse along with the Terraforming for the Field Spell Search, and also just 3 Infinite Impermanence. Hand trap of choice along with the Ash Blossom and the Effect Veilers. If your opponent does go first, you at least have a way to shut them down with your own cards, being this one that can be activated on the field when you control no other cards. And that is it for the main deck. We'll now move on to the extra deck. For the Xyz monsters, I run 2 Gunkan Suship Ikra class Dreadnought. You need 2 level 4 monsters. If it's Xyz summon, you can apply the effects based on the materials you use. You can only use this effect of Ikra class Dreadnought once per turn. If you use Shari, you draw 1 card. If you use Ikra, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase. So both of those are the initial monsters we got. Having Shari Red or Shari as both of the overlay units gives you the additional power that this card was meant to do, being a 2200 attack by monster that can attack twice, and once per turn when your Gunkan monster is special summoned from the extra deck, inflict battle damage to your opponent. You can target 1 card your opponent controls and destroy. An additional destruction play on top of that means the more boats you have and more that you're swinging at your opponent, the more destruction you can cause with them. I also run 2 Gunkan Suship Shirao class Carrier, with this one having the additional effect when it Xyz summon, applying all the effects. If Shari is one of its materials, you draw 1 card. If your Shiro is, you can add 1 Gunkan spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So you do run the field spell and the daily special. Having both of these options as searchable ones with the Xyz monster makes it all the better for you to set up the trap as well as just an added to hand, and why we only run 2 copies of it. And also, while a face-up card in the field is in the field zone, Gunkan monsters you control, special summon from the extra deck, cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects and gain attack equal to their original defense for an additional power boost. They don't have that much defense, but it's still a nice touch for the additional power they gain. with the last Suship monster being the Gunkan Suship Uniclass Super Dreadnought. This is the rank 5 monster, having the additional draw power with Shari, and then also just the option to have up to attack directly against your opponent. With this card, also just being able to gain more of the different Suships you have on the field, the more of a powerhouse they will all be together. With the more generic Xyz monsters that I run in the deck, being 1 Daigusto Emerald, this is great for the normal monster special summon and recycle power again. 1 Gaga Cowboy, 1 Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, 1 Baguska, 1 Abyss Dweller, and a personal tech of mine, I really do like the number 70 Malevolent Sin for the banish option of my opponent's monsters. This can be a Tornado Dragon if you wish, just for back row popping in the deck also, but pretty much just a generic Xyz lineup after that, with the final cards being 1 number 39 Utopia and 1 Utopia the Lightning, along with 1 Divine Arsenal Sky Thunder's Zeus. I really don't run any Link monsters. I find Xyz plays to be the real powerhouse of the entire deck, so that's why I decided to focus on with all the many different cards in the deck. As for some of the new go-to combos you can do, being able to rely on Shari Red to count as Gunkan Suship Shari in your name means you just have all that search power to work with, and also just the additional play of it counting as the Xyz material options for your different summons. So you're basically working with double the amount of Shari that you have in your deck along with this card. For easy Xyz summons, it all comes down to just what you can set up with, whether you special summon out your Shari onto the field, and the additional Suship monster you summon out. Depending on which one you have along with Shari will also determine which one you want to overlay into, because then that will be your go-to play and a monster you can more reliably rely on, because you'll gain both of the card effects, the draw and the second effect, depending on what the other piece of sushi it was. You can use the Ikara to then go into your Dreadnought Ikara class, and then the final one with your Shari to use and adjust the level of with your Uni, making a level 5 to go into the rank 5 play of your Super Dreadnought. Getting multiples of these ships out onto the field is also the other important part, but the more Shari you have on the field, the more you can easily just special summon out the other ones with their own restrictions. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. It's a really, really awesome and unique type of deck. It almost feels like one we would get for the anime, and I hope we see more and more support for this deck. We get a little bit at a time through each of these packs, and I feel that's enough just to actually one day build this up to a pretty scary Yu-Gi-Oh deck altogether. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.